Shri Gauranga Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Continuing with our reading from the Jaiva Dharma, chapter 35, Madhurya Rasa, the Uddipans, or the stimuli of Madhurya Rasa. The Alambana topics rose again and again in Vijay's heart. Vijay became most attracted to them. His schedule became irregular, eating whenever available or whatever available. He came and fell at his guru's feet like a madman. Goswami raised him up carefully and embraced him. Vijay Kumar said, "Oh, Prabhu, I desire to understand about the Uddipans of Madhurya Rasa." So as Vijay Kumar becomes more absorbed in the Leelas of Radha and Krishna, he is practically swept away, swooning in love for the divine couple. But still there are things he needs to know. So he comes to his Guru Maharaj and he asks, what are the Uddipanas of Madhurya Rasa? That is, what is those things that stimulate that sweet rasa of conjugal love? The Goswami then began to speak with great care. He said, in Madhurya Rasa, Krishna and the gopis, their qualities, the names, the activities, the decorations, the relationships, and all the neutral items also are all the Uddipans. What stimulates Madhurya Rasa within the heart, or our natural love for Krishna following in the mood of the gopis? Even that which stimulates Krishna in his love for the gopis, or the gopis' love for Krishna. That is called the Uddipans, that which stimulates. So Vijay Kumar says, oh, please tell me about these. Goswami said, first, understand that there are three types of gunas: mental, verbal, and bodily. Oh, what are the types of mental qualities in Rasa? Goswami says mental qualities are things that are cultivated within the heart. It may be there naturally within the very advanced souls, or those who have to cultivate that, such things as gratitude, tolerance, compassion. These are all mental qualities, but a devotee needs to nurture those things within his heart. He has to show kindness to others. He has to show gratitude to his guru. He has to naturally tolerate sometimes insults or just the dualities of material nature. So these things are cultivated within the mind. They help to stimulate our natural love for Krishna. Oh, Vijay says, what are the types of verbal qualities? All those words which produce bliss for the ears are verbal qualities. In other words, sweet words. We should always be truthful, but we should also not harm others with our words. So specifically in relationship to Rasa, all the sweet leelas of Radha and Krishna, the name, anything that stimulates our love for Krishna, but also in our dealings with people within this world to show kindness. First, that comes from the heart or the mind, and then through verbal words, appreciation of others, natural gratitude of others, kindness towards you, and like that. Then what are the bodily types of qualities? Bodily qualities are such as youth, rup, lavanya, sundarya, abhirupata, madhurya, madhva, etc. So dealing now with the subject matter of Rasa, the first thing is youthfulness. We see Krishna appears in a youthful form. His form is very stimuli for Madhurya Rasa. The gopis are also very beautiful and youthful, and their forms stimulate Krishna's love for them. So all of these things act as stimuli. So the first thing is youthfulness. Krishna is worshipped in various ages, 3 ages specifically. In his youngest age, we see that is most suitable for motherly affection. And Krishna is generally worshipped as Bal Gopal, as a child who needs his mother's attention, his father's attention, the attention of the elders, the nurses, and so forth. Then as Krishna grows a little older, he becomes a little bit more independent and takes the calves out. And then the cows, as he grows, begins with the calves and with the cows. And that age is most suitable for Sakya-ras, which is friendship. We see the cowherd boys, they think of themselves as equal with Krishna and so forth. So those who are in that mode of ras, in their mind or in their heart, generally worship Krishna and Balaram, because they represent the cowherd boy Leela. Then, as Krishna becomes a little bit older, his form becomes suitable for loving affairs. And that is seen within the form of Radha and Krishna. Such persons who are inclined for Madhurya Rasa, they worship the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. So that state of youthfulness is most suitable for this Madhurya Rasa. Goswami says, Bhayan Sandhi is the joining of the Paganda and the Yovana age. This means the first part of Kaishara only. This stimulates Madhurya Rasa in Krishna and the gopis. Oh, what is the Navya Rasa? Navya means kind of new or just coming. Just blooming, just starting to bloom, like a flower, just starting to bloom before it fully manifests. What is that stage in which it begins to bloom and has not quite yet manifest? The Goswami says, the age of the girls, when a girl's breasts slightly appear, when her eyes become a little restless, when she smiles mildly, and when the full sentiment of amorous love begins to manifest slightly, Navayovana, new youth, is called the second stage. Kaishor or Navya, new, like that. Little girls, they don't have that feeling. But at a certain age, there awakens a natural attraction for boys, and like that is also seen here. That as the girls grow up a little bit, they begin to notice Krishna in a different way. At one point, they're just playing like, and we know in childhood, you play boys and girls wrestling around, there's no different. But at a certain point, there is seen a difference. A stimulation of natural inclination towards the opposite sex arises. So the young girls begin to notice the young boys. Oh, he's very cute. And the boys begin to notice the young girls like that. So this is called Navayovana. Vijay Kumar says, what is Vyakta Vayas? As he asked this question, all of a sudden, one Shri Vaishnava and one Shankar Math sannyasi arrived. So all of a sudden they realized they can't continue to speak like this, because it's not proper to speak of this subject matter in the company of those who don't have that type of feeling or ras. Shri Vaishnavas, they are Vaishnavas, but they worship Krishna simply in the mood of das, service. And the Shankara sannyasi, he is a Mayavadi. Anyway, they both entered into the area of the temple. And so Goswamiji thought, okay, let's hold off on this discussion at the moment. The Shri Vaishnava identifies himself as a male servant of the Lord, a das. The Shankara sannyasi is absorbed in meditating on Brahman. They both have different moods. One cannot speak about the nature of Radha and Krishna's loving affairs in the proper mood when those who are around us don't carry that same mood. We are warned not to speak of this. They will misunderstand or they will criticize. So Shri Vaishnavas always think of themselves in the male position of dasas to the Supreme Lord, Narayan, like that. Or like the mood of Hanuman to Ram. The Shankara sannyasis are always absorbed in the concept of Aham Brahmasmi, I am one, I am that. Neither of them identifies themselves as Braj Gopis. So they don't have the mentality of the of Vijay Kumar, who's considering now himself as a Braj Gopi in his inner meditations. They don't consider like that. So these topics should not be discussed. Since it is forbidden to discuss topics of Ras near persons identifying themselves as males, Goswami and Vijay Kumar became silent and began to discuss ordinary topics with the two visitors. Subject matters such as Bhagavad Gita or Upanishadic thoughts, that's all right. But not the discussion of Braj Prem, like this, or the gopis' love for Krishna. After staying some time, the two then left for Siddhabakul. Laughing slightly, Vijay Kumar repeated his question. Okay, we can continue now. Goswami said, in the third stage of Kaishore, Vyaktivayas, girls' breasts become clearly manifest. 3 charming folds of skin appear on their waist, and the limbs of her body shines. In other words, she's manifested the beauty of girlhood, or womanhood like that, but still young. Vijay Kumar said, in the Purnavayas, what is that Purnavayas? Goswami says, in the 4th stage of Kaishore, Purnavayas, a girl's hips becomes broad, her waist becomes slender, her body becomes lustrous, her breasts become larger, her thighs become like chunks of a banana tree. Interesting description. And among young girls of Braj in an early stage, some appear as if they are at the 4th stage because of the fullness of their beauty. So the point being here, that which stimulates Madhurya Rasa is the growing up into the stage of full youth, like that. Oh, I have understood now the nature of these ages. Please speak more about Rup, beauty, form. Goswami says, when a girl's unornamented limbs appears as decorated with ornaments, such beauty is called Rup. When all the limbs are nicely placed, it is called Rup. That is, she appears beautiful, even unornamented, like that. What is Lavanya? When the waves of beauty emanating from within the limbs causes reflection, as in pearls. It is called Lavanya. And what is Saundarya? When each major limb and minor limb is properly formed, perfectly placed, joined properly to the other parts of the body, it is called Saundarya. In other words, beautifully proportioned. And what is Abhirupata? When an object, because of its excellent qualities, makes a nearby object assume similar qualities, it is called Abhirupata by the wise. And what is Madhurya? Bodily beauty that cannot be described is called Madhurya. So, whose presence, we'll say, makes everything look beautiful. And whose bodily beauty is so beyond compare, we'll say, it is impossible to almost describe. What is Mardava? When one cannot tolerate even the softest touch, it is called Mardava. Mardava is of 3 types, great, medium, and least. When the body is so soft that any kind of pressure gives some kind of pain. That is called Mardav. Oh, I've understood all the qualities. Now explain names. Goswami says, names refer to the names of Radha and Krishna filled with ras. When we chant the names of Radha and Krishna, like Gopi Janavalava or Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, these are names of Krishna in the ras of Madhurya. So those names are especially dear to those who are cultivating that Madhurya ras within their heart, to chant those names which identify Radha and Krishna in their loving moods. Kunja Bihari. Can you now please explain their activities? Activities are divided into two, Anubhav and Lila. Anubhav actions will be described later. Can you then describe Lila? Lila, they are pastimes. In other words, charming play, dancing, playing the flute, milking the cows, lifting Govardhan Hill, calling of the cows, walking. These are all Lila, or the plays of the Lord. Charming play. What is charming? The rasa dance, the playing of games, like playing with balls or on swings. Krishna and the gopis enjoy each other's company with water sports, gambling matches, playing with balls, rasa dance. So this is all part of charming play, which is very sweet. Vijay Kumar says, how many types of decorations are there? When decorated, you can count the garments, the ornaments, the garlands, the cosmetics. What are related objects? Anything attached to that, close by, close objects. What are attached objects? Oh, Krishna, the sound of his flute, his horn, his songs, his fragrance. They're identified, they're kind of separate but not separate. They come from him. The sound of the flute by his playing of the flute. So they appear to be separate but not separate. The sound of his ornaments, the jingling of his bells, his footprints in the sand, the sound of the veena in Radharani's playing, the skill in the arts. Anything that is directly attached to Radha and Krishna is a stimuli for natural love for them. See Krishna's footprints in the sand, hear his flute. All these things, they're somehow attached to the object of our love. That is the idea. These things are attached to the object of our love, who is Krishna, or Radharani, in the sense of Krishna loving Radha. Anything that is attached to Radha, then that stimulates his love. What is the sound of the flute? Oh, of all the Uddipans, all the stimuli of love, the sweet flute music from Krishna's mouth is said to be the best. Naturally, when the gopis hear that sound of the flute, their natural love is awakened. Please explain close objects, things closely related by the beloved are remnants of flowers, other things offered to the beloved, peacock feathers, gunja berries, mineral pigments from the hills and the mountains, the herds of cows, the stick, the flute, the buffalo horn bugle, the sight of Krishna's dear friends, dust raised by the cows, anything that brings remembrance of Krishna. It's the sight of the cows, hearing of a flute, hearing of a buffalo horn, the sight of Krishna's dear friends, dust even. We've seen in Vrindavan, when the cows come home, the dust is, so one can remember Krishna. These are all stimuli, and also objects of meditation for those who are advanced in their spiritual life. Everything they see reminds them of Krishna. Everything they see reminds them of the divine love of Radha and Krishna. Everything. The sky, the clouds, the rainbows, all of that stimulates their natural love. The Vrindavan forest. That is why so many sadhus retire in Vrindavan, because everything acts as a stimuli to their natural love for Krishna. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, the objects of Vrindavan, everything within Vrindavan. Govardhan Hill, Jamuna River, the divine areas, Rasa dance area, and other places of Krishna's pastimes. They are powerful stimuli to one's inclination towards Madhurya Rasa, to go there and sit there and meditate upon what happened here and the leelas that took place. That's very powerful. Vijay Kumar said, "Oh, what are the objects taking shelter of Vrindavan?" Goswami says, "The living entities which have taken shelter of Vrindavan and act as Uddipans, the birds, the bumblebees, the deer, the bowers, the creepers, tulsi, the flowers, kadamba, and others. These things all bring remembrance of Krishna. They reside there within the Dham, and we see the birds, we see the deer, we see the cows, we see the flowers. All of this stimulates our natural thoughts and love for Krishna. Has to first bring it to the mind or to the heart, and then it awakens that love. Therefore, it's called the Uddipana. We see something, it stimulates a remembrance. The remembrance then generates as a manifestation of our natural love. So that is what is called Uddipana, that which stimulates our natural love. Other things, prominent amongst neutral objects, moonlight, the full moon night, the clouds, the lightning, the springtime, the autumn, the breeze, the birds. They're all stimuli to natural love for Krishna. Having heard in a complete way about the Uddipans, Vijay remained silent for a short time. Having accepted all the Uddipans along with the Lambana in his heart, the object of our love, an exalted emotion arose in him. His body began exhibiting anubhavs, external signs of his natural love, shaking it like that. With a choked voice, he said, "Oh, Prabhu, please continue. Explain all the anubhavs to me. You have spoken a portion of Krishna's activities in Leela. If I can know the anubhavs, I will understand Krishna's activities thoroughly. Oh, Goswamiji, please dive deeper and let me hear more about these things which awaken and stimulate our natural love for Radha and Krishna." So we'll stop here. This will be our part 1. Next time we read will be part 2, the Uddipana, the stimuli of love in Madhurya Rasa. Jai Gaur Premanandi Haribol, Jai Shri Shri Radhe Shyam.